Hello and welcome to another week in our garden. Beautiful sunny day, but we had a wicked frost this morning. In fact, we've had two mornings with real good frost, which I don't mind because it'll kill some of those insects that are hiding in the soil, and it'll also break the crumb down on the soil, which I'll show you later. Now, starting in the shed, I'll just show you that those honeybee tomatoes that Gemma gave us, that was, well, really out of date, have germinated straight away. So we'll show you those, and then we'll put some broad beans in. I'm doing Bunyard's exhibition this year, so we'll see how we get on with those in a moment. But look at the tomatoes. There they are. They've popped up in the last 2 days. So now I actually put the light on now. I do it for 3 hours in the day because I've got plenty of sunlight at the moment, and then 4 hours at night. I've also put the compost in the second propagator we've got to warm up, ready for planting next week. I really need to get that compost as warm as we can. These are the broad beans. They're a bit wet. I have soaked them overnight just to give them a little start. They don't look too bad. Some's a bit wrinkled, but we'll put them in and see how we get on. Now I'm only putting, I think it's 13, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. I'm only going to put 13 in because we don't need a lot, and 13 pots fill this mushroom tray. But we'll just put them on the edge, straight in like that, and just cover them up. I'll cover them up as I go, and then I know, and I'm picking the better ones obviously. Then if you put them that way, they'll lift the first leaves out. But they still feel a bit firm to me. You see, that one's not so good, that one's alright. Right, so I'll finish it and then I'll show you them done. That's those 13 pots filled. Quite a few left. So what I should do, I should just pop them back in there for now. I'll put those into a cell tray, and then we've got some for just in case. If we have to, that's Mr. Gray saying hello. The other thing we want to do this week is show you. Be quiet, Mr. Gray. We said we'll take you for a walk down the garden, so we'll get off and we'll leave him up here. Now we've got down to the bottom of the garden, and the sun is a little bit too high at the moment, and there are some clouds coming. As soon as the clouds get in front of the sun, we'll start showing you what we've got. These are the artichokes. Now they really have been underwater, but they've recovered and they seem to be coming all right. Likewise, the rhubarb, it's recovering and coming back now. That'll come back with vengeance once it starts. A little bit of grass growing on it, but I'll soon take that out. Now these plots here, I have dug them over between rainstorms and floods. Now where the straw is, that is still very heavy, where the water's actually forced the soil down and tighten it up, so I'm going to have to dig that area again. These two bushes here are blackcurrants. They were in the hedge bottom over the side, and I didn't like them over there, so I've moved them to this. Now they might need a little bit of pruning later on. I just put them in to keep them alive, and then we'll prune them back a bit. I don't expect much of a crop this year. Over there where the straw is, that's another piece I haven't quite got to dig yet. I did just fork it over quickly, but it's so compacted, I thought I'd let it dry out a bit and then dig that straw in to try and loosen it. The garlic has been underwater several times, as you can imagine, this year, but it seems to be picking up. The garlic is actually doing better than the onions. These are what is left of the overwintered onions, and they seem to be coming better now than what they were, but I do believe the pheasants have just been nipping the tops of the leaves off a little bit, but they'll be okay. These plots here, 1, 2, 3, 4, have all been dug over, manured, and then straw added on a second dig. It's quite a bit of work, and instead of having a path down the centre, I've put the path at the far edge this time, more of a drain path than anything, and then let these out. I've took the timbers off that was used on the side of the beds. I've had to obviously keep some, especially at the bottom where the water stands a bit, but they was full of slugs and ants' nests, so I thought they've got to go. So what I've done, I've put them over on that side to save wasting them, and it might just hold the water, so the water flushes down to the bottom instead of washing everything. I've manured this once and we had a good flood, and it lifted the manure up and took it away, so I had to do it all again. So hence the boards along the side and the bark paths. I shall use this for potatoes as part of the crop rotation. Now the next one, I shall put the winter brassicas in here, so that at least they're this far up the garden. It's just out of the flood zone here, so we will be able to harvest them and not lose quite so many. What I tend to do this year, I've altered things around, so we're bringing the late crops up to this end, away from the flooded part, so we might be able to get our crops out without putting my wellies on. This is the strawberry plot, 2 plots, they're earlies and lates. They've overwintered all right. The water hasn't got this far up, so they're perfectly all right. We should see a bit more growth on them soon. There's plenty coming, but not quite enough yet. They're not growing so well at the moment because we've had these frosts, and strawberries don't like these frosts in cold weather. I don't know the soil temperature yet. We'll do that next week and we'll see what temperatures we've got. As these strawberries do start to fruit, we'll put covers on them. Now up at this top, this will be the last of our beds, and the far end is a piece of good land, so I'll put some carrots in there, then parsnips, beetroot, celery, then hopefully we'll be able to lift these in the dry. Now let's go in the fruit cage and have inside the fruit cage. This is the blueberries. As you can see, they're just breaking now, breaking the leaf. The other thing I've done, I've given it a really good mulch of Christmas tree. 1 or 2 people gave me their trees, so I've chopped them up and I've put them on to let them go down and help the acidity of the bed. These are the 2 really old red currants. They might just need some of these old pieces taken out. We'll make that decision when we come in to start tidying up in here. The tree at the back is a cherry. Hopefully if I can get it to go, train it along that bank, it'll stop the birds from eating them. These are the raspberries. These are Malinjuno. They're leafing up now, so these will be the earlies. Now when they've got the leaves on and nice and green, I shall come along and take all these tops off, and then all the stems will then break out and we'll get crop all the way down instead of just across the top. You get a far better crop that way. These 2 bushes here, they're the red gooseberries doing quite well. Again, they might need just a bit of thinning, but when we come in to tidy, we'll take those out. This is the mulberry tree that Gemma bought us. Now, last year we had one mulberry, so we're looking forward to at least getting one each this year. These are the later raspberries. Nothing showing at all yet, but they will actually send a cane up, and that cane will fruit, and then at the end of the season we cut that cane out. We'll do what we've done this year on all these fruit bushes. We've used garden compost, not manure, and we've given it all a good mulching, and we just let them enjoy them, and probably they'll feed them for the crop. This is another red currant. I think when I am tidying up, I should bring the heavy pruners and take some of this centre out, so it gives the others a chance to grow. That's a white currant. Again, it's getting a bit big, but I'll leave that one this year. As you can see, I think these need to come off now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will make it more of a vase or a cup shape, so you get a better crop. This is the blackberry. If you remember, it's thornless and crops well. Last year we made a mistake by putting the gourds next to these, and they absolutely overrun this end, so we won't be doing that again. I've trained them onto the wires ready. As you can see, they're breaking nicely. Never a problem, these. Just what grows up this year we cut down at the autumn, and what grows this year we tie in. Now the ground just here, this plot, is very, very heavy red clay. This is, as we bought the garden, this really wasn't dug enough. So this year I've heavily mulched it with leaves. There's a lot of them on, and you can see where Diane's walked. Look, that's how much there is. Now we'll lead them on to rot down a little bit more, and then I'll fork them in, and hopefully they'll break this clay down a bit. Now that's it, we've showed you what we've got. I haven't took you in the greenhouse on purpose because there's lots and lots of overwintered geranium and fuchsias in there, and I haven't got round to tidying them into groups and repotting them yet. When I do that, I'll show you how we do it. But at the moment, it's obviously one greenhouse, everything's had to be put in, and now I've got to work out a way which all the plants coming through, I've still got to go in that greenhouse, so I've got a bit of work to do down there. So that'll be it for this week. Take care everyone. Although it's sunny, we're having some cold mornings up here, so keep warm everyone, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.